Hello ladies and germs. Here it is about 7:30 on Sunday morning. I promised that I was going to do a video showing you how to do zebra stripes or tiger stripes or any other imagined colors you can possibly do. What you need to do, you can do this on, I've done this on wood. You're not going to see like perfect painting because this was strictly for instructional purposes. It was not to make a perfect example of it, just to show you. If you use wood, my suggestion is you either sand the wood really smooth, or if it's fairly smooth to begin with, like just stuff that you buy from the hardware store, what you can do is you can do several light coats of black paint or your base color paint, and what happens there is it actually becomes kind of smooth anyway. And you can use like black and white. You can use other colors. If you want, you can do like whole walls with this stuff using latex paint. And let me show you real quick what I've done. Okay, that is not all the paint that you see that making stripes. What I've done is the background is all black. There's about 3 coats of black on there to make it smooth, and all the rest of the stuff that you see, that is actually masking tape. Now, the way I do that is, I know this thing doesn't macro focus really well, but you can kind of see like lines on here possibly. What I do is I use an X-Acto knife or a razor knife, and I cut irregular patterns going all the way around, and then I just peel them off and try to make points if at all possible, because you don't want everything being like a squared off edge. There's one up here that's like a little bit squared, another one down here that's got a little bit of a squared edge, but that's okay because in nature crazy things like that happen. Now if you're to do a wall, like if you're going to do bedroom wall, something like that, you could use this 2-inch tape, and you could go, you could cut very close to the edges, because you don't want a straight edge. Zebra stripes don't have straight edges in nature, or if they do, it's like a really short period of time. This, like I said, I used masking tape here. You can use the blue painter's tape, which is a little bit better. If you want to pop for a little bit more money, you can get frog tape, the green stuff. That's really cool. And the trick is with that you wind up, the better the tape, the less likely you're going to have paint come underneath and mess up what you're doing. However, let's get going here on the second part of this. Now the thing is with this tape is once you put it on, you first of all, that black tape, I let that dry for 24 hours, and then what you do is you use your finger and you press it down really nice, and your fingernail on the edges to try to make sure that it doesn't lift up, so you get this second coat of paint underneath that, because that's what you don't want. And I'll turn this off for a second and I'll be right back. Okay, one of the big secrets, you can see it all looks white right now, but if you look closely you can still see that the tape is on there. Like, anyway, one of the big secrets is light coats. If you go too heavy, the paint can bleed underneath the tape, and you don't want that to happen. Like I said, this probably won't wind up turning out perfect, but it'll be good enough for just an example of how to do this. Now this paint dries fairly quick, but the real trick with this is when you put the second coat on, you want the second coat, you want both coats, but you want the second coat for sure to be extremely dry when you take off this tape, because it's less likely to lift up And then if you lift up, then what you have to do is you have to take a small brush and go in there and repaint your stripes, the edges of them, to fix them, but you don't want to do that. You can get lucky if it lifts up, because it can look kind of random, and that's how stripes turn out in nature. Now, one thing again I want to show you real quick. This one's going to be zebra stripes, so it's going to be black and white. Now, if you wanted to do tiger stripes, what you would do at that point is the whole bottom half of this, or like bottom quarter possibly, you do white. And I don't suggest gloss unless you want that look. If you want it to look like fur, you want it to look a little fuzzy, you use flat. But like for a tiger stripe, what you would do is you would do the bottom quarter or bottom third, maybe bottom half white, and then the top part you would do orange, so that you'd have the transition of orange to black like you see in a tiger, or I mean orange to white, but with the black stripes. Now I've also done, let me see, I've done two versions. One was the black down, and I put the black down, then I put the stripes on there, and I painted everything else red. So I had red and black. I also did a table for somebody once where I used silver. I painted everything silver, put the tape down, and then spray painted blue over that, so I had silver and blue. So, you know, like I said, stripes like you see on tigers and zebras. However, you can get other colors that don't occur in nature. Now, I do not know, because I've never done this, I don't know if this would work with stain on wood, but possibly. But I think at that point what you would have to do is you'd have to have a clear coat down first, so that the paint or the stain didn't bleed under, because if it bleeds under, then it looks like trash. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let this dry for about an hour, maybe 2, and then I'm going to come back and do the reveal. Okay, so what happened was I let this dry for a little while, but I got antsy, and I went to pull off the tape a little bit too soon. But that's a good thing, because like I said, this was just going to be for instructional purposes, and I guess in the long run it winds up being good, because it shows you what happens when you get antsy. So, as you can see, it looks kind of like zebra stripes. I did put these on kind of a 45-degree angle. I just kind of started over here, and just that's how it worked out. If you were going to do a tiger stripe, you could leave like the bottom and then maybe go up to make it white, and then orange here. You could go more straight down if you wanted to, or you could even go this way, however you want it. But if you look kind of close, I don't know if you can pick this up, but you can see some blotchy parts that don't look real pretty. And that was because I did put on a really thick coat, which I shouldn't have. Like I stressed before, light coats are important, especially for the second coat where you're going to try to make the stripes. Once you have the tape on, put very light coats so that nothing bleeds under the tape, or get the painter's tape or frog tape, because that's better stuff, and go ahead and let it dry, because if you let it dry, you won't get things like I got right here. If I wanted to make this perfect, I would have to get a small brush with black paint and fix some of the little screw-ups that are in here. But that's not essential for this, because like I said, this is just instructional, just going to show you how you do it. So if you wanted to do a wall, you could use that 2-inch wide masking tape or green tape, and use almost the whole width of the 2 inches to make your stripes. And you'll notice too, these stripes aren't necessarily like just one stripe. You know, what I do is I put one down, and I have a couple coming off, you know, just to like give a tree effect sort of. If you have any questions about what a zebra stripe ought to look like, what I suggest is going online and just Googling pictures of zebra stripes, so that way you get a better idea. But don't lock yourself in it. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. Just have fun with it. Do whatever you want, and you can experiment and do other kinds of tape things too. Who knows? Sky's the limit. Speaking of the sky, not too many clouds. It's about, maybe it's 9 a.m. now, I think, something like that, 9:45. It is warm enough that I can be in a shirt like this, and shorts, of course. And it's supposed to be 75 today. I keep saying it, don't I? I'm sorry. I'll stop saying it. Just assume from now on that it's always nice and warm here. Okay. Alright, well, that's the end of the instructional video. Now to take the 3 parts and splice them all together so it looks like one semi-seamless thing. Cool.